Hello, you guys. Welcome to a new episode of Too Much with Shey and Becca. This week has been a whole lotta. And because of that, we will be discussing the elephant in the room at the top of the show. But then we deserve to just talk about life things and kind of decompress because of the crazy week that it has been. But as we always do to start off the show, we're going to give our minute rundown. Yeah.
We say it's a minute. It's honestly just a quick rundown, to be honest.
Right.
I'll start. You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, like Shayla said, the elephant in the room is that
No, we're not gonna discuss that.
no,
That's for the top of the show.
my week has just been, a mess because of all the dramatics.
We're about to talk.
But I am very upset at the current moment because aside from all the other mess, it's just been brought to my attention that Rodarius Wave possibly canceled his concert for New Jersey. Girl.
Why?
Now, girl, that's the best question. I didn't get a notification from Ticketmaster. So on his website, the New York and the Jersey dates are not there. But on Ticketmaster, they only have one show that's canceled, but it's not New York or New Jersey. So until Ticketmaster tells me that the concert is null and voided, I'm chilling for right now, but I'm very the moment it was brought to my attention, I felt a zap in my heart. And Rodarius, please don't play with me. That's it. Please do not play with me. I'm trying to keep it cute. I'm trying to be very demure, but I will tear the establishment apart.
Well,
do not play with me.
You're gonna only hurt yourself by doing that because he's still gonna have his coins and you're gonna be in jail and not gonna see him. So,
girl, I'm very upset at the current moment.
Well, I think that's a great example of how a few people hurt everybody probably because of all the mess that has been happening in his other shows. Now he's like, yeah, I'm not trying to even move forward with it. But I do think social media is very deceiving. So until Ticketmaster officially announces it, it could just be a rumor. But then again, you never know.
Right. I'm like, maybe there's a glitch in his website. That's why. That's the philosophy I choose to feed off of at the current moment. Because if not, I'm just going to make myself angry. And I don't got time for that.
Yeah. So for my minute rundown, as we will discuss in a minute, it has been a lot. But the one thing, the bright side is that I don't want to say I just knew about this artist, but I just started listening to him and I'm like all in on him now. His name is Friday and he's a Haitian artist.
I've been telling you about him.
You showed me one song.
Girl, I've been telling you I love Friday.
Okay, well, this is my minute rundown. So I just want to discuss how Rebecca did show me a song, but Baddest in the Room. She was like, oh, I love this song, da-da-da. But I listened to it and I just kept on pushing it. But for me, when I'm going through rough times, I'm all in on music. Like music makes me feel better. It is my therapy. So I listen to other songs and now I'm a fan of Friday. I didn't know that he was also Haitian. So that's a plus. I love supporting my people. And yeah, no, I'm not Haitian, but we share the same island. Rebecca hates that I am a pro Haitian. It's actually insane. But anyways,
I don't hate that you're pro Haitian. I just feel like.
So why are you looking at me like that?
Because you said my people. I'm like,
yes, we shared the island.
Girl,
yes.
Girl, I share the island. I share America with Italians, Germans, and everybody. I don't say I'm Italian or German.
Well, to each their own. Okay, I understand that. But for me, I feel like Haitians and Dominican are very close. Yes, the tension is high. I understand all of that. Yes. But for me, I see Haitians as like my cousins. We family, whatever. You don't.
That's because you're educated. Tell the rest of the people over there on the other side of the island.
Exactly. So I'm gonna move how I want to move, right? Like obviously I always share the message, but that's how I feel. So now that we went through our minute rundown, now we are going to discuss how Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States of America. He defeated Kamala Harris by a lot. It wasn't something like people were predicting, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, it might take 2 days to figure out if he won or not. Baby, that win by that night, you knew he won. The map was redder than ever. States like New York and New Jersey, who are usually like no-brainer blues, were very much, yes, Harris still won those states, but by a very small margin. So the United States of America has decided, the people have spoken, Trump will be the next president. And it hasn't even been a week since the election, and the racist, the sexist, the hateful rhetoric has already been at an all-time high. So you can only imagine when he actually gets, the inauguration happened and he gets into the office, how much more the country is going to continue to be divided, because it's not going to go down, baby. The tensions are extremely high. And yeah, that's crazy. Do you want to say your piece before I show a little video?
You ever have so many thoughts or so many comments that you have no comment? Like, y'all know, when it comes to politics, the discussion of politics, Shayla is the one who's all in, and me, I just be coasting on the edge, right? So this was like from the last episode, y'all know this was my first time ever voting. This is my first time ever taking part in anything to deal with democracy, right? Because typically in the past, whenever people did talk about politics, I never said nothing, because I never put my hat, like my card into the hat. Like, I never said nothing. Like, I minded my business. Y'all do what y'all want to do. I've said this in the past. I do not care. I didn't care for Trump and I didn't care for Kamala. But what I did care about is my morals, my values, and my beliefs. And I told y'all, if you feel like this is what's going to align with your morals, your values, and your beliefs, go ahead, by all means, do it. The percentage of white men that voted for him, I expected that. Not surprising. Y'all don't do much for me. The amount of white women may Zeus strike y'all down with the biggest lightning bolt. Like, I just, I can't comprehend. And like, to me, it just shows me that y'all are willing to allow anything and everything. And I think black women who voted for him was like 8%. 8%. Like, y'all is stupid. Like, and like, we're going to get into this a little later in the show, where we talk about the people that you see or the people that you know who show their support to Trump, especially after finding out that he won. People are like, oh, like my coworker was telling me, I support different opinions. This is not about opinions. If you support him, in my mind, you automatically do not like me, because everything that Trump stands for, everything that he has said, everything that he has described in his policies, there is not one thing about it that you could think and sit there and say, Rebecca does not fit in. I'm a woman. I'm a black woman. I'm a Haitian woman. Like, those 3 facts alone, I'm automatically out of it. The only thing that's benefiting me and my friends, Shayla included, is the fact that we are financially stable. We're living the life that best works for us. We're not living we're living paycheck to paycheck, but I don't depend on the next paycheck after I get this one paycheck, right? There's people who don't even have that, who are sitting there talking about, I support Trump. You're not even in the tax bracket for him. You're not even going to be supported by him in any way. And it's just like, I just don't, no matter what you tell me or how you try to put it into words, the logic not logicking. And that's all I can say.
Okay, so I'm with Rebecca. Listen, it was not a shock to me that Trump won. Like, I always knew it was a thing, but in my mind, and I know, like, I hate saying this because Rebecca knows, out of the two of us, I am the nicest one. I'm the one that always gives the benefit of the doubt. But I'm always like, I don't think we're that not good in the head. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always those people that are not good in the head and that are ignorant and like, okay. But to actually see that a majority of America thought, like, I don't know, I hate saying that. I truly do, because I understand the lack of education, because I'm a few, you know what I'm saying? Like my county voted for Trump. My county voted for Trump. And I see it day to day, like the lack of education. People don't have cable, right? So their news sources are free YouTube videos, right? And I know we're a part of that, but people not watching us for real, right? The New York Times and all the reliable news sources are under paywalls. People are not reading, people are not educating themselves, right? So what they see are people like Joe Rogan and all these other people that are spewing like not facts. But I also want to talk about Latino voters because in this election, Latinos voted for Trump in a higher percentage than ever before, right? And as a Latina and Afro Latina, I feel like I can speak to that, right? Number one, a lot of people think that all Latinos are the same, right? I know you've heard this a million times. Latinos are not a monolith. There are white Latinos, there are indigenous Latinos, there are black Latinos, there are Latinos of all races. So the same way you have, you know, white conservatives, those exist very heavily in the Latino community, right? Number two, religion is a very, very, very important thing in the Latino community, right? And that in turn creates these conservative Latinos that are those ads that Trump was putting on, and he paid a whole lot of money, the ones that we, the educated people, might laugh at. And I hate saying the educated people because I never want to be like on a high horse because I'm not.
Girl, no, it's a fact. Some people are stupid. They don't know. They don't know 1 + 1 + 2 + 2. They don't know stuff.
They
It's okay. You're uneducated. Your brain cells not fully developed. It's
no,
like,
but education is something that we also like as a society we need to put more money into, right? Like the lack of teachers, like we need to support so
girl,
people
that's
are
not
able.
happening now.
Okay, so people are able to become more educated because I know not for everyone it is not their fault, right? Like the resources just aren't there for you in your community. But to my point, Donald Trump in his campaign put a lot of money into the Harris is for they them and I'm for you or something like that, which is so ridiculous. And it's like, are you falling for this? But guess what? The Latinos that are very conservative and anti-gay and believe that you just being in a room with someone that's gay is going to make you gay, or believe that they're trying to push the, you know, people that are transgender, like just weird ass stuff like that. The Latinos that are conservative eat that up. They do believe that people that are a part of the LGBTQ plus community are, you know, like there's something wrong with them, like they shouldn't be gay, they shouldn't be transgender, and that like that's taking over, which is why they end up voting for him. But another side to that is there are those hardworking Latinos. As you can see, I've been so stressed. I don't even get pimples, and I've gotten pimples this week. But for the hardworking Latinos that are working 9 to 5 jobs, when they don't even have time to be educated and looking at the news, because by the time they get home, they gotta pick up their kids, cook, get ready for the next day, shower. All they know is that things are more expensive. Whether the Harris campaign or Democrats say that the economy is better, you okay, yes, the economy is better, but if I'm not feeling it in my pockets, I'm not trying to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hear none of that. Most people don't know how Congress works, right? So you can't tell them, well, we've been trying to pass X, Y, and Z, but you know, we don't have the power in Congress. Most people don't even know what Congress is, that there's a House, that there's a Senate, what the president does, what this, they don't know that. They don't know that. So to sum it all up, I'm just, it sucks, right? Especially because the people that are going to be hurt the most are people that have a low income, right? People that do depend on government funding. I am a prodigy of food stamps, honey. Shout out to food stamps because I'm here today. Thanks, you know, in part because of food stamps. And those resources may be diminished, right? People keep saying that Donald Trump is the best thing for the economy. Did you guys realize that we had a pandemic? We were shut down for nearly 2 years. By the time that Biden came into office, and I'm not going to say, like, this is another thing. I'm not saying Biden is the best president ever. I'm not saying that what us funding a war in Gaza is good. I am not saying that. I am against that. But the reality is that when Biden came into office, he had to clean up the mess that Trump made for 4 years. And now the small gains that Biden was able to make, the Democratic was able to make, Trump is going to take credit for it when he gets into office, because just when you pass the legislation today, you don't see the results tomorrow. It takes time. So when Trump gets into office and we do see these like low prescription drugs, Trump is going to be like, "Oh, it's because of me." And you guys are going to believe him because you don't follow politics. You weren't reading how the legislation was passed before Trump ever came into office. So it's sad, but if this is what America wants, this is what was voted for. I don't, it is what it is. It is what it is. And it is what it is.
I just want to say a few things to touch on to your point. So when Trump was originally president the first time, like you said, we were in a pandemic for like 2+ years, maybe. And the time that he was president, that people were able to see how he's able to help the economy, that was based off of what Obama did. And so, like you said, he's going to take credit for that. So it's just like, there's no win-win situation here. Because honestly, I said to Shayla, like because I remember when Shayla and I first talked about it, I was like, do you actually think that she could win? Like Shayla was like, I think there's a possibility. I think that she's like, don't think negative, da 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 da. And I was like, okay, I'll give you that. Like, did I think that she had a possibility to win? I was teetering. I was like, there's
Every day my mind changed. One day I'm like, "Yep, she got it." The next day I'm like, "I don't know, Trump might take it."
like, I was like, right. I was on that teetering scale. I'm like, it's a possibility, right? And that's because, honestly, we all have these bubbles. Like when you're on social media, you're gonna see the people who like the things that best go with your interest and what you support. So it's like if you scroll down my timeline, you're gonna see all these people talking about Kamala and all the different policies and how they're voting for her. And like you see the comments in the comments saying, like, well, we all know we voting for this person, like da 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 da. There's a lot of undercover Trump supporters. One, because they don't want to face the backlash. They don't want to hear that people, block them, unfollow them, bash them, whatever like that. And also what it is that like people don't want to see a woman win. It's like that's really what it is at the end of the day too. People don't want to see a black woman win. Like you cannot tell me. And I will say this to any Trump supporter. You cannot look at Kamala's resume and Trump's resume and tell me anywhere on the comparison of the two that Trump outweighs Kamala in any way. Y'all can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. Like, you can't. And it's like most of the people who did vote for him, y'all live in a trailer park. Where did you think that you was really going to go? Like, how did you think he was going to help you? Like, most of the people who support him, y'all literally y'all have been on unemployment for 7 years. You have never seen what an actual corporate paycheck looks like if it didn't come from the government. But yeah, you're sitting there saying that Trump is going to help you. Why would he help you? Trump has never been in that type of predicament. Why would you think he would help you? I really want to know.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely lost.
I think this also gave me a sense of like appreciation for our ancestors, the people that came before us and fought for our rights, our reproductive rights, right? Like racism, all of those things, because I know that we can't give up on the fight, right? Like I think, yes, this is a moment to grieve and be upset and be mad. But at the end of the day, you also cannot give up, right? Because if way back when women just sat down and were like, well, they're not going to allow us to vote, so we're just never going to fight for a right to vote, then we wouldn't be able to vote today in 2024, right? So I think, yes, the grieving period is necessary, but we also cannot just stay stagnant, right? Like the fight continues, be mad, be angry, but you got to continue to fight, right? Because we cannot go back. I don't care about the Make America Great Again, whatever. I'm telling you right now, Thankfully, my mouthpiece, honey, is the best thing I got. So I could go back and forth with you anytime. I don't care, because the rhetoric, the hateful rhetoric, is only going to go up. And to that point, like I was mentioning, Donald Trump hasn't even been sworn in, and you have these people spewing hate. Listen to this clip by this guy by the name of Nick Fuentes.
The feel when you're totally not pressed. The feel when we control your bodies. Hey, bitch, we control your bodies. Guess what? Guys win again, okay? Men win again. And yes, we control your bodies. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. It's your body, my choice. And men, women again. Men win again. There will never, ever be a female president. Never. There will never be a female president, ever. It's over. Glass ceiling? Dude, it's a ceiling made of fucking bricks. You will never break it. Your stupid face keeps hitting the brick ceiling. We will keep you down forever. You will never control your own bodies. You will never be the president of the global empire. Never gonna happen, sweetie. Your body, our choice.
First of all, I hope I see this guy outside, because I will let him have a piece of it. But if you don't know who Nick Fuentes is, he's a American far-right political pundit and live streamer who promotes white supremacist, misogynist, and anti-Semitic views. He's a former YouTuber, and all the things. So this is like somebody, he's a racist guy that is on social media and has a lot of followers. But when I saw this makes my blood boil. Like, I already have big eyes, but I feel like I was the Hulk. I'm like, first of all, like, go ahead, because I can't even speak. I have so much to say. Meet me outside, because we gotta talk. You got all this to say behind the camera, but I promise you, if you was in front of people, mute. Because that's how half of y'all are. That's how people are. This is another thing. If you are a racist, I prefer you be like upfront with it. Whatever, like, let me know where you stand. But there's so many people that are undercover. Like, it could be your friends, your whatever. That's another thing that people are like, oh, well, this is how you knew you was a Trump supporter. They're like, why do we have to disagree? Jesus is king. Like, just all of this stuff that is like, girl, we could disagree about pineapple on pizza. We could disagree about how you prefer coffee over tea. We could disagree about you preferring, Marshalls over H&M. But we are not about to disagree if your disagreement, right, or what you prefer is oppressing me and my people. You know what I'm saying?
I know Shayla is.
Fuentes. Go ahead, Robert. What you gotta say to this man?
So Shayla, when I say this, I just know Shayla's gonna be like, "That's not what we both think." I just know it. But when I saw this, like, the first thing that came to my head, like literally while watching it, like my blood started to boil, especially when he let that bitch word come out. It came out hard. It came out hard. I was like, some of y'all like don't die by natural causes at a high enough rate for me, right? And it's just like sometimes I'll be looking at God and I'm like, I just know this can't be what you left me with.
Girl, like, I just feel like, because Donald Trump won, and again, I don't care what y'all got. I do care. I don't want to say I don't care what y'all got to say, but because I feel like Donald Trump opens the door and it helps people feel more empowered to share their racist and sexist opinions. And i.e., I'm going to show you guys. So this is another thing, right? I'm going to see, y'all know this is live production. If I could do this, because I want to show us though. Dang, I can't do this, but y'all see this. Let me play this again.
Your body, my choice forever.
All right, so yeah, so that's Nick Fuentes right here, right? He was like, he tweeted that the your body, my choice forever. And then Andrew Tate, who is another guy that he was arrested for like,
Wait, Andrew Tate, ain't that the dude? That's somebody else. I was thinking about Caldwell. I was about to say, I ain't gay no more. That one.
no, but Andrew Tate, he had like some legal battle with like sex trafficking or some weird
Yeah.
stuff that had to do with women. So
Mhm.
he tweeting about some 20 if you voted for Trump, I refuse to have sex with you. And y'all see the thing he posted, that little skeleton thing at the bottom right. And then he also posted, because we're going to talk about this 4B movement that people are talking about. No, it has nothing to do with hair. I thought it did, but it does not. And 24 hours and Trump has stopped hoes being hoes. Now oh my God, this is blowing me. 24 hours and Trump has stopped hoes being hoes, AKA because of this movement, which we will discuss.
He said you don't even need an abortion.
Well done. Well done, Mr. President. So this is what the 4B movement is. Also, no, let me talk about Boosie before we get into the 4B movement. Because there be people like this. Like, stand behind what you want to stand behind, but like, don't be flippity flop. You know what I'm saying? He talking about some Trump. He added Trump and was like, "Can you pardon me on my Fed case? I'm a nonviolent felon. The courts ruled that a nonviolent cannot be charged with the da 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 da." Just all of this stuff. Like, sir, your people are always talking about how him coming into office is going to hurt you and your community. And you're adding him talking about some, can you drop this case for me?
Girl, I already told you. I feel like people just don't die of natural causes at a high enough rate for me. Because like I don't care how rude that is or how disrespectful it is or how y'all be like, oh, she told me to die. I mean, natural causes. I ain't wish you that bad of a death. Like, honestly. And I feel like Shayla and I are gonna get into this we're getting into it right now. First off, the thing is for me, when I saw that Trump was winning, I was like, you know what? Y'all got it. Like y'all got it. Like unfortunately, decisions aren't made by just me. We live in a democracy where everybody's voices and opinions are supposed to be heard. For me, when I saw that, I'm like, honestly, if Trump does bad, y'all gonna see. But will y'all admit that? No. If Trump does good, who am I to sit there and say anything? Like, unfortunately, this is what I have to deal with.
I tell Rebecca, I was like, if I can't buy a house in the next 2 years, I'm dragging Trump. If my $100 bills, I need to stretch. $100 needs to be enough to buy food for the entire month, since he's
Okay.
such the great businessman that everybody loves. Although he has been filed for bankruptcy, I believe like 2 times. But okay, let's go ahead. So let me talk about. Now we're gonna move on to just
Wait,
life
I
things,
just want to say
whatever.
really quickly, right? So, luckily for Shayla and I, we live in New Jersey. So, it's like a lot of the things, like, thankfully, every state is making their own decision. If you live in those type of states that don't allow you to make those choices, baby, I don't think come to Jersey, no, but look for a different blue state, Like, luckily for us, a lot of the things that they're trying to ban for women isn't going to apply to us. But Governor Murphy is next year is the re-election time for Jersey, so who knows what they're going to vote for? If this is how they was voting for Trump.
But also, that is the problem in America. I'm not gonna say you specifically because I always tell Rebecca. Rebecca always try to act like she don't care, but she do. A lot of people vote
Girl,
specifically just for their own well-being. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. Like, we need to care about other people. Maybe that's just me and my ethics. Because again,
some
a
people
lot of
ain't worth
these
caring
things,
for.
huh?
Some people ain't worth caring for.
Okay, well, that's your thinking. I think that's exactly why we are where we are today. People are thinking selfishly, oh, well, my state is blue, or this has nothing to do with me, so I don't care about them. XYZ. And that's where we are. But let's move on to things that are happening, right? So social media is talking about a 4B movement. And this is what the 4B movement is. So this is according to NBC. It says, the election of Donald Trump as the next US president has triggered a surge of social media posts and internet search instead in interest in South Korea's fringe feminist 4B movement. So the 4B movement calls on women to refrain from dating, having sex with men, having kids, and marrying men. How do you feel about this 4B movement?
I feel like I'm unintentionally a part of it.
That part.
Like,
That part.
but like honestly, I get it. I get it, right? I do get it. But it's just like my whole thought process is like, if it's not you, it's just gonna be somebody else. So it's like, if you standing firm on that, go ahead, sis. But they just gonna go to the next. It's really, I feel like it's really not gonna teach the lesson that y'all think it is, because like, as we see with this election, just because a one group of women could feel some type of way or feel this way or feel like this is the best way, there's going to be a completely larger, different set of women who feel the opposite, who aren't even going to take part in it. So it's just like, if not you, then on to the next. Like, honestly, that's how I see it.
Yeah, so for me, like Rebecca said, I think I am a part of the 4B movement, not because I want to, just because the men right now, I don't know where the good men are. They seem to be non-existent. They really not in Jersey, and they don't seem to be in New York either. But
No.
I get it. I get it in the sense of like women taking ownership of their bodies. Like if you guys are gonna have these rules that are these laws that make it impossible for women to feel safe, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to healthcare and abortion, which has a very bad stigma to it. Abortion isn't just used when you want to kill a baby, right? Sometimes if you have a miscarriage, people take these abortion pills in order to remove the embryo, right? Like there are health issues where you do need an abortion, but that's neither here nor there.
I also just wanted to say really quickly, right? Before I lose my train of thought, what was I going to say? I was going to say that when people like do these type of things where they're like, I'm taking control back of my body and stuff like that, I feel like that should just be a normal practice. I feel like a lot of times I see, especially the way I see like certain women that I know, like these men are very free. A lot of these men be whores. Like that's just really what it is. And it's just like, I see women just let them do what they want to them. Like, yeah, like, fuck my pH balance, basically. Like, that's what I feel like, take control of your body automatically. It doesn't have to be because these rules are, or like these laws are about to be put in place that are about to impact you. Like, have that type of discipline already. Because, like, now look. Tell me, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. The next thing is, do you want to talk about Joel Embiid before we get into our just conversational topics?
Of course, of course. So, moving past elections. So, Joel Embiid has been suspended. Ooh, y'all. I promise you I can read. Okay, so Joel Embiid has been suspended for 3 games without pay for shoving a Philadelphia Inquirer Kamala.
Girl, you good?
I think
Take a breath.
I think I'm having a stroke.
Girl, you are not having a stroke.
So for shoving a Philadelphia Inquirer columnist, Marcus Hayes, the altercation occurred after the 76ers Saturday loss to the Memphis Grizzlies, following Hayes's column that mentioned Embiid's late brother and son while questioning his professionalism and conditioning. Embiid reportedly warned Hayes to avoid referencing his family again and later shoved him, leading to an intervention by the team's PR chief. So he'll miss 3 games, which will be the LA Clippers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Charlotte Hornets. He's expected to return, of course, against no other team than my New York Knicks. And yeah, this suspension is going to cost him a little over $1 million. And he's had yet to play this entire season because he's been recovering from a knee surgery.
Yes. Before you say your piece, I do want to say, if you don't know who we're talking about the NBA. Joel Embiid is like the star player of the Philadelphia 76ers. And yeah, he's the center player, the star, the guy for the Sixers.
Right. My whole thing, right? When I saw this, like when I read the article, I'm like, y'all need to stop punishing people for things that shouldn't be punished. I'm a firm believer in watch your mouth. I'm also a firm believer in you can say what you want, but don't get mad at the consequences when it happens. You're lucky that all he did was push him. Because if it was Draymond, he probably would have got put in a headlock, to be honest. Like, I feel like a lot of times, and as people, we work in the media industry. Shayla and I are journalists, right? I feel like a lot of times, especially like he's a columnist. So like his point is to try and get those people to go to his column by saying some outrageous or saying whatever he wants to say to try and get people to read, right? I feel like a lot of times we get so caught up in that idea to be the one who gets the most clicks and the most views and the most reads and stuff like that, that sometimes we forget the common principles of just being a decent human being. Why? If you are talking about his professionalism and his conditioning, where in that, in your mind, does 1+1 = 2 for you to say that you talk about his late brother and you mention his son? I don't understand where the two combined in your brain. You know? Like, I just feel like y'all need to be careful. Y'all need to watch your mouths. And you need to remember that just because you are trying to trend, that some things should not be trendable. And I'm one who, go ahead.
Oh, no. Finish your point.
I was gonna say, I'm one of those people, especially when I argue with you, like nothing is off limits. Like, I feel like I will talk about anything and everything, especially if you get real disrespectful. I'm going to hit you where it hurts. That wasn't even this in this case. Like, there was no reason for you to bring up either one of them.
Yeah, I think, again, as a journalist, I think sometimes we have to touch grass and understand that, is this going to move my story forward? No. And I think I didn't read the entire piece, but I did read like that snippet where he did mention like his brother that passed away and his son, and it's like that had nothing to do with nothing. If you want to drag, and I think, again, as someone that is not pro dark jokes, you could talk ish about me all you want, but as soon as you mention my family, my mom, like, that's gonna blow me. I'm gonna be mad, and you have to be prepared for the consequences. If you already know, if Joel Embiid himself said, listen, I don't mention my brother or my son, you were warned. So anything that happens after that is fair game. Because if I tell you, listen, I remember when I was in middle school, people love your mama jokes, your mama jokes, your mama jokes. And I would tell everybody, listen, I know this is a little trend. This is what we're doing now. Don't mention my mother. It's not a joke. I'm not going to laugh. And I don't like it. So we have to accept people's boundaries. Some of my friends were all in, right? And they would clap back and say your mama jokes back and forth. But everyone has different boundaries. And I think we need to accept it. Athletes are humans. I'm pretty sure this journalist would not have liked for Joel Embiid to talk bad about his family, whether his wife or if he has kids. You wouldn't have liked that. So I think we need to understand, and I'm big on this, I don't do or say anything to others that I wouldn't like to be done to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's just that. So whatever Joel Embiid did, that's the consequences for your actions.
And I also am a firm believer, like, don't dish stuff that you really can't take. Like, if you to sit there and, like, if I shove you, I expect you to put your twos up. Now you really you gotta fight me. You gotta whoop my behind, to be honest, because I just want to see, like, you talking like you really can whoop my behind, to be honest. I feel like that happens with a lot of people. They really, like, people talk out of their mouths or type whatever they want. And it's like, Shayla and I just did this one video where we talked about, like, the comedian, right? That we recently just did. And somebody in the comments was like, Blackie's mad. And, like, when I said it to Shayla on phone, Shayla was like, what? And I was laughing because I'm like, this is funny. Because it's like, you can say that to me over the internet, but nowhere in your mind, if you saw me in person, could you open those teeth and that unwashed tongue and tell me anything like that? Because one thing about it, I got a mouthpiece on me, but two, I also got a bat and she likes to swing. So keep it cute. Keep it cute.
Yes. So, as we mentioned, this week has been stressful. So, we're going to talk about how do you cope with stress, Rebecca? When you stress, what you
Honestly,
do? Give me
my
3 things.
three things is crazy. Because the
I
first
mean, if you only got one, then just say one.
girl, I go to sleep. Whenever I'm stressed, I'm going to sleep. Like I will worry about it in the morning. But it's like there's also different levels of stress. Like if the level of stress is me at work, I go silent, I go mute, and I have to do as much as I can to get the task done because it's like I get motivated by it because I don't like the feeling of being overwhelmed. And like I force myself to lock in. But like if it's something like life stress, I'm going to sleep. I'll worry about it in the morning. I'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
So, for me, if I'm stressed, I will cry. I'm a crier. But
Uh,
again, it depends on where I am. Like, if I'm at work, it's like I have tunnel vision. I'm like, please don't talk to me. Like, I got to get this done. Um, I'm like a task oriented person. If I'm stressed, I'm like, here are the things that I need to do, and here's the order that it has to be done. But if
exactly.
I'm stressed, as in like the future, when am I ever going to move up in my career? I do shed a few tears about that. I love music, and I'm going to treat myself to something sweet or a favorite meal of mine. Like those are my 3 things. Cry, give myself food that I like, and music.
I just wanted to, I feel like like for me, you know how you said like you like to listen to music and stuff? I need silence. Like when I get stressed, I think the thing is with me, I internalize a lot. So a lot is always running through my mind, which is why like sometimes people are like, Rebecca, like you done said 18 different things at once. I have 20 more things that I could say, but it's like my brain is just continuously running. So I just need silence. And the best way for me to get that silence is to go to sleep. Like I
Mm.
need to go to sleep. Music doesn't really help me like when I'm like the rare times that I feel sad or like the times where I'm mad and stuff like that. I don't like music isn't going to do much for me. Like I need task and sleeping is a task. Like the best time for me to clean is when I'm mad. When I'm mad, I am task driven because I'm trying to find ways to calm myself down. And the best way to calm myself down is to focus on something besides what I'm mad about. But
Mm.
that's just that. I don't know. It's just
Okay,
how it works.
so we're all different. Comment below how you deal with stress. Okay. Next, daylight savings is here. Last Sunday at 2 a.m., it went back to 1. And the daylight has been saved way too much, honey. By 5 p.m., it is pitch black in Jersey. I don't know about you in your state, but we saving all the light here in Jersey. How you feel about daylight savings? I'm against it. I don't even feel that extra hour. It's like you might as well keep it.
To be honest, I'm like we've been doing daylight savings for so long. I really just feel indifferent about it. Like it's to me, I'm like, okay,
So you don't care that it's like pitch black at 5 p.m.
no, I like it nighttime.
But also it's because Rebecca be at work at that time.
And I
So
also don't
regardless of the fact, her exit time is so late that
yeah,
it's
like
dark
see, I
regardless.
don't notice nothing. And like half the time when we do go out, it's nighttime anyway. So like for me, I don't really feel no type of way. Like at work, first off, when the time switched, I was up, right? So when I had checked the time, it was like 1:55. I'm like, okay, it's about to be 2. And if I stay up any longer, it's going to be 3. And then I need to go to sleep now. Like Shayla knows I be trying to go to sleep early, but I can't, it just don't work for me.
And the one time she had to be up at the time that she always up, she's like, I'm so tired. I
Shayla,
can't,
I
I
couldn't
can't.
do it.
I'm like, girl, you
I
always
couldn't
going to
do
bed
it.
at 2 a.m.
I
Like,
couldn't do it. I was like, I'm about to tap out.
all
But
right.
I was like, I was getting ready for bed. I'm like, okay, like I feel like 30 minutes went by. I go to check the time and it said 1:14. I swear to you, I almost went downstairs to my parents and told them they had to take me to the hospital. I thought I was in a drug induced state because I I didn't even know what happened. I said, wait, I know I'm not tripping. But I was talking about it at work because one of my coworkers came outside and they were like, it was like 5:25, and they're like, it's so dark outside. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh, it is dark. And then somebody was like, yeah, like this is making me so depressed. I was like,
Yes.
no. I'm like, I do listen, I get depression, I get all those things, I just don't think that it being darker outside should equate to your happiness, because if you were
Yes, it
sad already,
does.
nah, you can't tell me that
No,
because
I'm
it's dark
telling
outside
you.
you're depressed.
Listen,
That don't make no. You were sad already.
no, girl, that's
Hey.
that Caribbean mentality kicking in. Yes. First of all, I'm a homebody as is, right? So if there's any type of like bad movement outside, I'm already like, that's my sign to stay home. At 5 p.m., I look outside and it's pitch black. I don't want to do anything.
That's
I
cool.
feel it's cold. And that's another thing. You like the cold. So for you, you're like, yes, this is jackpot, jackpot.
I'm
For
like, yeah.
me, it being cold is like I'm hibernating. I'm like is the bears are the
Bro, you
ones
hibernate in
hibernating?
the summer too. Like, come on.
Okay, but exactly. But now I extra hibernate if it's cold because I'm cold all year round, but now I'm really cold because it's cold for real. And I hate it. Comment down below. Are you pro daylight savings? Are you pro it being pitch black at 5 p.m.? You let us know in the
And do you
comments.
think that this it being darker outside now really equates to
Yes, that is a proven thing. Rebecca got the
yeah.
Caribbean mind in
I
her.
feel like
Skill set.
if it was last week at 5, first off, it would start getting dark at 6 or like
And
6.
I felt it. Yes. I knew it
Okay.
was
But
coming.
now it being dark at 5 o'clock, you can't tell me that extra 45 minutes is really going
Yes.
to equate to your sadness.
Yes.
You were sad already and you need to seek help. Like, that's really what it is.
Oh my god.
But
Don't listen to her.
as
Let's
we
get
talk,
into our
right,
our
as we
fun
Shayla
stuff.
mentioned already, my Caribbean mindset. So
Oh, I
Shayla,
was gonna press our wind down clip.
oh, we had so much left to talk about.
Yeah, so much to talk about. Not enough time, honey.
Can we get 2 more topics in?
Girl, we're already 50 minutes in. One thing about my good sister Rebecca, she loved for us to talk all day. Go ahead,
Because that's
sis.
crazy. We barely gave them anything.
No, we gave them a lot. You could come back next week and we give more love.
Some of these topics we've really been pushing them since last week. So, I mean, I guess. So, one of the things that I saw a different podcast do, and I think it'd be so funny, because Shayla and I are 2 different people, right? And we are receptive to different things, especially when it comes to men talking to us, right? So,
Mhm.
I don't know how you feel about pet names. Personally, I'm okay with pet names if it's cute. Calling me chocolate is not cute.
Okay.
So I have some pet names here that, and if you don't know what a pet name is, it's
I
basically,
know. Yeah.
I was talking to the
Oh,
viewers.
to the people. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So if you don't know what pet names are, it's basically like those little short names that significant others give each other, like honey, baby, all that, right? So we'll start off real easy and real small. How do you feel about being called love? And I want you to rate it from 1 to 10.
I think that's a 10. I like love.
Love, that's a 10. Okay, okay. Angel.
0. Don't call me Angel. That's weird.
Really? I think that's real cute.
Angel, no, I don't like that.
I remember this one dude I used to talk to used to call me his Michelle Obama. That wasn't cute. Love Michelle, but don't call me that.
Yeah, don't call me Angel.
How about baby girl?
I guess it reminds me of the song "Baby Girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you. Let
Let
me
me
buy
buy
you
you
a
a
drink."
drink.
So
Yeah,
I'm okay. I mean, it's not 10. I'll give it a 5.
really? I think baby girl is cute when it's coming from a man with nice teeth. Like, if you don't got nice teeth and a cute face, it's really not doing nothing to me. It's actually cringy.
Mhm.
Okay, so how do you feel about being called queen?
0.
Thank you. I hate that.
Queen, girl. I call everybody girl, even guys. Don't call me no queen.
I
No.
don't like being called queen. It doesn't do, I don't like, they were like, good morning, queen. And I'm like,
Ew. I feel like maybe because the people that have called me queen have been like not it. So I just have a connotation to like, no.
okay, I have a few more. Buttercup.
0. Don't call me Buttercup. You like
I
that? How you feel about Buttercup?
Girl, this one dude called me Buttercup. We never spoke again.
I mean, I'm not saying that if you call me Buttercup, I'll never talk to you, because if I like you, I'll just address it and be like, oh, I kind of don't like when you call me that. But I'll still talk to you, but I would let you know that I don't like that.
Okay, my last few, my love.
I like my love. I give that a
I call
10.
Shayla my love every day. But it's like, my thing is, sometimes when I use my love, it's either I am trying to be like genuine or I'm being sarcastic. Like, no, my love.
But Rebecca uses that to a lot of people, so it doesn't hit the same. That's another thing. The name you call me cannot be the name you use for everybody and their mother, because then it loses its value. Rebecca does that. She calls me my love and all her friends and all her acquaintances. If she don't know your name, she'll be like, oh, my love. So then when she calls me my love, it's like she calling me Shayla.
But it's just like how people be like, girl. So like, to me, it's just like a feeling kind of thing.
No, exactly. So that's why when you say it, I don't see it as like a term of endearment. It's just, instead of my name, you say my love.
I have different feelings about this one, sweetheart.
No, I don't like it. I feel
It's
like there's a meme with the word sweetheart. Something sweetheart. I can't think of that meme, but it's definitely a memeable name. I give it like a 2.
I don't like sweetheart. I just feel like you're an old dude when you say it.
Right.
It give old dude. As soon as the dude say sweetheart, you're over them. You're over 40 to me in my mind. Like,
But you like older men, so there you go. What's that? What's that mean? Like, what you talking about, sweetheart? It's like a sweetheart. Something sweetheart. Something sweetheart.
oh, I know what you're talking about.
Right?
Sweetheart. Or
Yes,
like
it's
that.
something.
Yeah.
Y'all know what we're saying. If you know, link
It's
that.
divine.
Yeah.
Personally, for this name, that like this is my final 2. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I have never liked this because of the meaning precious.
No.
I hate that nickname because I'm like, are you trying to be funny? Because like, the movie Precious.
Yeah.
I'm like, you trying to be funny?
Yeah. Precious is a no for me.
And the final one, Sunshine.
I like sunshine because my favorite color is yellow and I love the sun and the beach. So when I think of sunshine, I think of all the things that I love. So I would like that. I think it's a 10.
Oh,
How
okay.
about you?
I get called Sunshine a lot by females, not really guys. Like, they'll be like, oh, you're like more of like, oh, like you're so sunshiny, but not like they call me Sunshine.
You're so sunshiny is hilarious.
Girl.
So before we close out, I guess we do have some time to talk about one more topic that relates to this. Do you think that the older we get, we reduce our standards and non-negotiables that we may have when we're younger, i.e., us in our 20s?
I remember when we had this conversation, Shayla and I talked to my mentor about this, and she was like explaining to us, like, yes, because like there are certain things that I think back to, like when I was in high school, that were like non-negotiables for me, but have changed since I've gotten older. Like, I used to say, like, you can't even smoke like a weed. Like, I didn't want to smoke her at all. But as you get older, everybody's doing it. I mean, I don't. Shayla doesn't, but most of the people in the world do, right? And I do agree. Like, I feel like as you get older, like, certain things seem to be less drastic or dramatic for you, which kind of like always makes you think, like, was it really a standard that I had?
Yeah, I think when we're younger, we're also immature. So we think of like, if my man doesn't have a name brand car, he's not for me. If my man, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if he's not 7 feet, he's not for me.
No,
If
that height requirement.
Rebecca, don't even let me finish my thought.
Sorry.
If he, you know what I'm saying? If he doesn't get at least 100 likes on his social media posts, we cannot be together. If he has more followers than people that he's following, then, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just stuff that be so dumb. And the older you get, you realize that there are bigger issues. Of course, right? Like, there's main things that I don't think I will ever change. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are a conservative, I just don't feel like that will align with me and my thoughts and how I want to raise my kids. That's never gonna shake. That's never gonna move. I want someone that is career driven. That's never gonna shake, because I don't mind if I'm the one that's making more, but I need you to be motivated to do more, right? Like, whether what that career path is doesn't pay as much as mine, that's okay. But I need you to be thinking for your own, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you depending on me. Like, all the time. I don't like that. I want you to have your own life and your own thing going on for yourself, not just all me. Another thing that I used to be very big on is like, oh, I wanted you to text me all the time, 24/7. But that's because when you're young, you have all the time in the world. Like, I remember when I first was dating, like my first boyfriend, if he didn't text me like within an hour or two, I'm like, I would be so mad. But now I'm like, I barely can respond to my friends. So I'm like, please do not be on me. Let's just like, talk at night, a FaceTime. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know what you're doing. But like, that's it. That texting every second, every minute of the day, that's exhausting, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of the things I think does happen also is that you become more intentional with it, right? So as you get older, it's like the surface level things aren't much of a standard anymore, you know? Obviously, would I prefer a guy who is taller than me? Yes, but if I so happen to get a guy that's the same height as me and you check mark in all the different personality markers and stuff like that, baby, I would never hold that against you. But it's like, as I get older, there's just certain things that I will not put myself to align with. Like, I don't want a man who's sitting here still in the streets thinking that he's a street pharmacist. Sir, like, come on, come on. Like, I don't want a scammer. And like, these are things that I used to be okay with, or I used to think we're so cute. Like, I don't want a man who's always in and out of jail. Like, I don't want that anymore. There's just certain things.
First of all, the fact that you even wanted that point blank period is a problem.
I thought it was cute. I know.
Ain't nothing cute about that. It's like what's his name? Cam Thomas from the Nets. Ain't shit funny.
Like,
I never wanted a man that was in jail. None of that.
And the thing is, right, I never like really had that like bias against people who had kids, because I've talked to men with kids before. And because I've talked to men with kids, I know I don't want to do that. In my experience, I don't want that. No, you got it. You got it. You got it. But then also, when you think about it, let's say I don't get into a relationship until I'm 30. Most people by the age of 30 got kids, especially in the times that we are in.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of like one of those, like, you gotta take what you can take and get what you can get. Even though it sucks to say and it's terrible to think like that, but like, baby, it's slim pickings.
I just want to meet my match. Like, wherever you are, please, it's time. I want to have kids. I know not everybody does, but the older we get, it's harder. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What if I figure out that I have something wrong with me and that I need extra help to have kids? It's hard out here for, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Too Much. We truly, truly do appreciate all your support. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel and make sure you're following us on all our social media platforms. It's Too Much SB on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the things, Threads, whatever you got, we got it. Too Much SB.
Yes.
And
Thank
we'll see
you
you guys
guys
next
so
time.
much. Bye.
Bye.